So, morning, guys and dolls. I'm doing a vintagey style baking session with you today. I'm gonna make like a version of a tea loaf that my Nana taught me, but I'm using different tea. And because my oven is different now, I'm going to make them into maybe cupcake size things, so then it's more like a bite rather than a loaf. Um, so we're going to give that a go. I use this cookbook. This book has been in my family for literally forever, I think. It's just well used, and I go off that. The Irish brack, or the fig loaf, or the date loaf. Those are basically tea loaves. With the different variations, but I go off the Irish brack, but then change the tea as I feel is right to. I've been using loose tea, so because it's autumn, I went and it's a bit more festive. I thought, why not use imperial spice with orange and cloves? You can probably use chai tea as well. Anything with a little bit of a festive vibe. I even have a brew in here as well with my Alice in Wonderland tea strainer in. Why not? Be yourself. So, to start off with, I had 500 grams of mixed fruit. So, if you don't like certain mixed fruit, what you can always just single out the fruits that you like. Maybe you want to have like dried cherries or sultanas, raisins, but I prefer the whole mix. Then I have some soft brown sugar. But like the mixed fruit, you soak in tea. The book says 3 hours of soaking your mixture in your fruit mixture in tea, but I've only done it like this morning, because all the fruit soaked up the tea already. So just look. If it looks like the fruit is soaked up the tea, then go ahead. You can do that. So then I have, just to make it a little bit more fragrant with flavour, I've put a zest of an orange, and I've grated some ginger in it as well, just to kick the spice of the tea and bring it out a little bit more. Then I have some soft brown sugar, 200 grams of that. You just pop it, sieve it. Baking the tea loaf has pretty much been close to my heart ever since I was a child. Nana taught me it, so I just keep it going. I want to know, has your grandparents or mums or anyone in your family taught you something whilst you were a child and then you keep that alive? Because I find that is a true heart of being vintage as well. You're keeping like stories alive if those people are not there, or you're keeping talents that are just dying out in the modern world. So all the sugar you sieve. This bit can take a little bit of time to do. So I'll get the sieve to try and hurry it up. Because you don't want big lumps of sugar. It's just not going to work. And I think this time of the year, you can treat yourself. It's the start of the festivities, where it's just finishing of Halloween, and you get to treat yourself from the Halloween festivities, and then you've got just autumn, the leaves are starting to turn, you want your fur coats and your boots, your coat dresses, you can have your hair scarves, everything. You can dress proper vintage this season. And then once all the lumps are out, just do that. And mix it, blend it all in. That's now in this bowl. You've got your sugar, your tea-soaked mixed fruit, zest of orange, and a grated fresh ginger. I prefer fresh ginger to ground ginger, just because you get the freshness and the fieriness. So now I have self-raising flour, and the book has told me like 275 grams. And you want to beat out all the lumps. So, how's everybody getting along with their planning? Because certain friends I know are a lot more organised than me. I personally wait till we do remembrance parades, like the Remembrance Sunday. I focus on that, and I just try and remember what our country did and what the soldiers and veterans have done for us. I concentrate on that first, and then try and start looking at the festivities of Christmas and fall and winter solstice and things like that. I try and think of what our country did as a whole, and how in the times of badness and times of like negativity, you can also pick out the positives as well. We did a very good job, and our technology evolved very quickly. Yes, because they had to, but it showed how strong our country is to come together and make do with what we have. So that's my perspective. So my friends are already starting to look at Christmas presents for their loved ones and things like that. Some of them are playing to Christmas songs already. That's slightly a bit too early for me. Like I said, I wait till all the remembrance is over, even though we never ever forget remembering them. But I concentrate on the poppies and the soldiers. So now, all that's in there. So you've got your mixed fruits soaked in tea. You have your brown sugar, your self-raising flour, and now you have one beaten egg. Like so. And you combine it all together. This mixture can look quite dry because it's not really a cake mixture, it's more of a loaf type consistency. But you need the balance because you don't want it too dry and you don't want, because otherwise it won't really do anything in the oven. You want it to combine. So if one egg isn't enough, because egg sizes can vary, you can either put a drop of milk in it to soften, or you can also, if you drained your tea from your mixture of fruit, keep it, and you can add it for its extra flavour as well, like so. And it will help with the mixture. And you don't want to waste tea either, because some tea can be quite expensive and luxurious. So keep your tea that you've soaked, and I put a little bit in here like I've showed you. Keep it, and you can make it for like the syrup up on the top. So you bake it and then brush it on the top. So the flavour, and it will soften your cupcakes or your loaf to be something else. It adds an extra layer and flavour. So now, as you can, I will show you in just a second. This is the mixture of the cake. If you're wanting a loaf, you can pretty much just put it in a loaf tin. That's the traditional way of doing it. I'm not doing that. I'm going to put them in cake cases, and then I can have a cheeky little bite throughout the day, rather than cutting up a slice in that way. It just keeps it going a little bit longer for me, because otherwise I'll eat a whole loaf to myself and feel really, really guilty about it, even though you shouldn't, because it's so good. So yeah, so that's the mixture. Just prior to all that, which I've totally forgot about, you might want to preheat your oven, which in the book it tells you a moderate oven at 180 degrees C or 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or gas Mark 4. The book says an hour and a half to 2 hours. That's when it's talking about the loaf. If you're talking about your cupcake sized, you probably want to just double check them, because they are a smaller bake, so you don't want to burn them. Just be aware that they are a dark cake, so don't worry if they're going dark, because that's what it's meant to be. You just don't want to burn them. So now I'm just trying to work out my oven. So 180. Because I have a circotherm oven, I'm still trying to work out how to use it. So that will be quite nice if it will work. So we'll see and experiment. But thank you for listening, and I will show you what they look like after. So yeah, please comment below and have a very nice day. Please comment all about your festivities, your thoughts about if your grandparents, your mother, someone in your family has taught you something, and you keep that talent alive. I just find that so, so interesting, and I would love to hear from you. Please subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys and dolls.